6 ways to dispose of a body - murder.
And what is the URL?
www.murdermurdermurder.com/blog. 2017 522 6 ways to dispose of a body. 6 ways to dispose of body parts after murder. Yahoo search results. How long for someone to be missing to inheritance? Yahoo search results.
The intention of justice is to see that the guilty people are proven guilty and that the innocent are freed. Only we have a problem here.
Welcome. This is the I Don't Belong Here show, and I am your host, Samantha Beningo. I am a behavioral scientist, a career psychotherapist, a 6th-year PhD candidate in clinical psychology, a master's level psychologist and counselor. And today we are talking about Brian Walsh. I haven't been feeling great. And so because of that, I was not able to do my live on Wednesday night, which was a huge bummer because I had planned to show you what we're going to talk about today. And that is, did Brian Walsh know about the affair and therefore have a motive to kill his wife, Anna? And the answer to that, in my opinion, is absolutely. He definitely knew, and I'm going to show you why I think that. Now, Brian Walsh is a talker. I mean, whoa, is he a talker? And it's amazing because the entire time that he is talking to the police, he's giving them all this information, and he's talking and he's talking and he's talking and he's talking, he's talking. The entire time he knows exactly where his wife is. Exactly where she is. So these cops are out there doing whatever to try to find this woman, and he just is babbling, like carrying on. Now, because of that, we get a nice baseline from Brian Walsh, who is a really pretty good speaker, actually. He's very clear, he's very well spoken, he's very well educated. And so Brian Walsh gives us basically your average baseline.
I think Max nailed it. And that's a couple things from CBS. She likes, clean pads is usually, she can't have enough gloves and clean pads and things like that since the pandemic.
Okay. So Walsh belongs to CBS and think there's much more left to do.
And then there's, I was just in that area, that small Scott area.
The whole Foods CBS?
Yeah. Not that I can follow me able to stop. Sometimes I'm going to stop and shop or, what is it, home goods, but about this time of that.
You probably going to stop going for the whole.
Well, they have the food, also the food for the dog is like, 25% more expensive at Whole Foods than it is at Stop and Shop. So, yeah, so there are times where I would go to get stuff and, obviously, Market Basket and things like that, so.
And what that means is when we get to the good stuff and it differs from his baseline, well, you know exactly what that means. So interestingly, the police, some of whom we know and love from the Karen Reed trials, some of these cops went and asked him questions. And as they're questioning him about whether or not they had ever, either one of them had ever engaged in an extramarital affair, wouldn't you know it, Brian Walsh completely falls apart.
And I'll ask this stuff, what is there any
No, not at all. Certainly not with me. And not that I have any information on it. Like everyone who called me, somebody how to work all this. The same story that I had is the same story Alyssa and Adela and Fastow with Amy, is that she works all the time and she flies home to see you guys and she comes back and she's constantly working. she said that she would like eat her bed and pass out a lot. So that was everyone else's experience. So yeah, I would be surprised that when we were younger, we were seeing when we were first dating, we were seeing other people. But that was
All right, so here we go. I will play this for you. It's 1:48 seconds. And I will show you precisely what it is that I mean when I say that he falls apart completely when asked about the extramarital affair.
And I asked this, what is there any
So there he is. He's asked by the investigator. And I believe this is one of the Cohasset investigators. It is not one of the folks from the DA's office in Norfolk County. It is a different gentleman who we heard from earlier in the trial. So he is being asked, has there been any extramarital affairs, either on your end or with Anna? That's the question. And this is his response.
No, not at all. No, not.
So we have a repeating no right away. No, not at all, which tells us that this is sensitive, right? No, not at all. So we knew right away there's sensitivity here. Let's keep going.
Not at all.
So then we have not at all. So we have no, not at all. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, deception. He's lying about whether or not he or Anna has had an affair, which tells us that either he had an affair that we don't know about or that Anna did. Let's keep going.
No, not at all. Certainly not with me.
Okay, so as I am going through the editing process here, I am realizing what he's saying here is no, not at all. And then he says, certainly not with me.
No, not at all. Certainly not with me.
And then he says, not that I have any information, but Anna was like, and then he shifts gears.
Not that I have any information of Anna's like, everyone called me somebody like, Anna worked all this. It was the same story.
So what he actually says is, but Anna like never even called me. And I think he's trying to indicate that she's always working and that's why she didn't call, right? Which, by the way, is completely contradictory to what he was saying earlier about how they talk about everything and they talk 2 times a day. So I think he screws this up because he's self-monitoring. He doesn't know how to answer this question because it's a lie. It's a flat-out lie. He does know about the affair, completely aware of the affair, right? So he's self-monitoring and he's messing it up. And so in the middle of what he's saying, he realizes that what he's saying doesn't make any sense. What do you mean she never calls you? And then he shifts gears and starts talking about the story.
No, not at all. Certainly not with me. And, not that I have any information of Anna's like, everyone called me somebody like, Anna worked all this. It was the same story that I had. It's the same story Alyssa and Adela and Fastow with Baby is that she works all the time and she flies home to see you guys and she comes back and she's constantly working. And, she said that she would like eat her bed and pass out a lot.
So here we have him trying to communicate to the police that Anna works so much that she falls asleep in her bed while she's eating. And that's the same story that her really good friends in Washington had. So that confirms his story that she was faithful. She was down there working, and the first second that she had any free time, she would fly back to be with him and the 3 boys. That is what he's trying to communicate to these police officers. The problem is that he knows that's not true. And that's why not only is he having difficulty, but he refers to this as a story. That's the story that I had. That's the story that her friends had, right? Now, think about it. When we're communicating the truth, do we reference the truth as a story? Probably not.
That I had is the same story. Alyssa and Bella both fascinating with Amy is that she works all the time and she flies home to see you guys and she comes back and she's constantly working. You know, she said that she would like eat her bed and pass out a lot. So that was everyone else's experience. So yeah, I would be surprised that when we were together, we were seeing.
So then he says, I'd be surprised of that. So he doesn't say, I'd be surprised if she was having an affair. He says, I would be surprised of that, which indicates that he's trying to push that away, right? It's distance. I want that away from me, which tells us this is sensitive, right? He can't say she's not having an affair. Instead, he says, he refers to the affair as that, right? And again, that's very telling. It's telling us that he doesn't want it near him.
That was everyone else's experience. So yeah, I would be surprised that.
And now he changes gears and he starts talking about when they were first dating or when they were younger. And he's trying to tell us that at one point in their relationship, they did see other people. But he botches this up also completely.
When we were younger, we were seeing when we were first dating, we were seeing other people. But that was 12 years ago. More.
And that is a little strange. To me, what that sentence was for was him thinking, well, if the investigators find out about an affair with Anna or with him, because, it doesn't seem like he was having an affair, but we really don't know that. It's unlikely based on the Google searches and everything else. It seemed like Anna was his wife and he was faithful to her. That's what it appears like. But then he pivots and says, well, we did have, other people in our relationship earlier. That to me, that was a statement that was meant to account for any possible thing that the investigators would find, like that Anna was having an affair.
When we were younger, we were seeing when we were first dating, we were seeing other people. But that was 12 years ago. More.
So in your experience, you had no suspicion that she was seeing someone else doing something like that?
No.
Indications that was going on?
No, not at all. I mean, obviously, we were a partner. We spoke a lot. That's why, people were like, well, don't worry if you haven't spoken to them. But we spoke all the time.
So in your experience, you had no suspicion that she was.
He said, in your experience, you have no suspicions that she was with somebody else. And here he goes.
No.
Like that?
No.
Indications that was going on?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. And that's exactly the same thing he said when he was asked a few minutes earlier if either of them have had affairs. No, not at all. right? Now we have 3 no's. This is deception, ladies and gentlemen. This is deception. So as I am editing and I'm watching this, I'm noticing as they are talking about the affair and Brian Walsh is listening to that discussion, listening to him and the investigators discuss the affair, watch his body language. For a guy who sits still for many hours, all of a sudden, he's moving around quite a bit.
Her experience, you know, like you had no suspicion that she was seeing someone else doing something like that.
No.
Indications that was going on.
No, not at all. I mean, obviously, you know, we were apart, but we spoke a lot. That's why, like, you know, people were like, well, don't worry if you haven't spoken directly. But we spoke all the time. We spoke in the morning and in the evening. So. And everyone, you know, like, rings talk about her husband and kids. I mean, that just seems weird. Having an affair.
So it's very sensitive for him. This is what killed Anna, in my professional opinion. I mean, look at him. He's got his eyes closed during the playback of whether or not there was an affair. It devastated him, in my opinion, to the point where he wound up killing his wife. We are going to go back and listen to this we spoke sentence from Brian Walsh again, because I think this one is just as important as any other. Now, obviously, I'm slowing this down a little bit so that it's easier for us to hear. It's much more difficult to hear at regular speed.
That was going on.
No, not at all. I mean, obviously, you know, we were apart, but we spoke a lot. That's why, like, you know, people were like, well, don't worry if you haven't spoken directly.
So here he is saying, obviously, we were apart, but he slips up on this, right? So it's very sensitive. Obviously, we were apart, but we spoke a lot. That's why, like, you know, I wasn't worried that I hadn't spoken to her directly. This is straight deception. And we know it's deception because he's using this to try to explain to the cops why it is that he didn't immediately say that she was missing. Right? That's why he didn't freak out when he didn't speak to her directly, which makes no sense at all, because what he's saying is, well, we spoke all the time. But if they spoke all the time, then you would be worried if all of a sudden you didn't hear from your wife. And of course, this contradicts directly what he told us earlier, where they never spoke because she was always busy working.
And obviously, you know, we were apart, but we spoke a lot. That's why, like, you know, people were like, well, don't worry if you haven't spoken directly. But we spoke all the time. We spoke in the morning and in the evening. So. And everyone, you know, like, rings talk about her husband and her kids. I mean, that just seems weird. Having an affair.
This is almost unbelievable. Right on cue, as he is saying that it seems unimaginable that she could be having an affair, he's got his eyes closed. Watch.
But we spoke all the time. We spoke in the morning and in the evening. So. And everyone, you know, like, rings talk about her husband and a kid, I mean, that just seems weird, but have an affair.
There it is. Just seems weird that she could have an affair.
She has close friends here. I know she spent a lot of time in DC when she came here.
And he probably did it, in addition to being angry about the affair, because of the money. Right? There was life insurance on her. And so he probably planned it ahead of time. Not long ahead of time, but as soon as he found out about the affair. Now, we don't know how long he had known about it, but there's a lot of reasons to be suspicious. And William, the man that she was having an affair with, gives us some indicators that he damn well knew about it.
I had asked Anna what Brian's reaction would be if she
My
ever found
question
out.
is not what you asked her. My question is, at no point did she ever come to you concerned and say, I think my husband knows I have an affair or he's suspicious of you?
We had one episode where Brian called me while we were out to dinner, and I showed the phone to Anna because it was unusual for Brian to call me. Anna then later called Brian, and Brian had claimed that one of their children had taken his phone and called me by accident.
And that would be an awfully big coincidence. And I don't know if I believe in coincidences anymore, particularly not when it comes to the legal system and true crime. Yeah, I don't think that was a butt dial. Sorry, guys. Just so happens that the one person that he calls is the guy that Anna is sitting with at dinner. No, there's no way that was just a fluke and one of the kids were responsible for it. It's interesting how he tries to, during his statements to the police, he tries to put a lot of this on the kids, right? Like, oh, the kids must have been Googling, how to dismember a body. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Something's not right here, right? I mean, he's a great talker and he's, really good with language. I mean, God, does he talk. The problem is he's a con man. He's totally full of shit. He was devastated by the fact that his wife was cheating, and he killed her. Make no mistake. It was, in my opinion, premeditated also.
So after you sold the townhome to Anna Walsh, did you have further contact with her?
I did.
And when was your initial contact with her after you sold her the home?
Immediately.
And what was your initial relationship?
We quickly became close friends, then confidants, and before long we started an intimate relationship.
Tell me about the types of things that you and Anna did in the course of your relationship.
We would go out to dinner, go to bars. She would accompany me to functions. I have a boat in Annapolis. She would come sailing with me. We did a couple of fitness dates together, see movies, those sorts of things.
And he also searched Anna Walsh, found dead, and he did that on December 25th. And he also searched at the same time William Fastow. So at the same time that he's searching William Fastow, he's also searching Anna Walsh, found dead. And this is on December 25th.
Now, this could have been for a lot of reasons. This all starts because Anna is supposed to be home on Christmas Day, and she isn't. So it's possible that it is something sort of innocent. He's trying to figure out where his wife is, and, they haven't spoke. So he's Googling, plane crashes, but note that he's also Googling her boyfriend's name to try to figure out where she is, right? That's a possibility. Now, there are other possibilities, but the point is, this was their realtor, okay? Why would he be somebody that Brian Walsh is interested in looking up on Google unless he's interested in looking him up on Google, right? It wasn't her best friend. It wasn't her bestie. It was allegedly somebody that she has no relationship with that's beyond the one he has with him, which was the sale of their house in Washington. So why is he Googling this guy? Why is he calling this guy? These are not just coincidences.
What is the timestamp for 1415? I'm sorry, 1414?
January 4th, 2023, 10:56 a.m.
And what is the value that is put in there?
Will Fastow.
And then underneath that, is there a different spelling of Fastow for item 1415?
Yes.
It was premeditated because he reasoned it would be cheaper, or also he would get more money if she was dead than if they went through a divorce. And that's what the Google searches were for. Remember, at first, he's Googling divorce.
Best divorce strategies for men, Yahoo search results.
And what is the date?
December 27th, 2022, 8:33:53 p.m. Washington, D.C. divorce laws, Google search.
And what is the date and time?
December 27th, 2022, 8:54:13 p.m.
Right? Then we start seeing Google searches about murder and death and dismemberment.
Best ways to dispose of body parts after murder, Yahoo search results.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023, 11:28:43 a.m. I am a user of my wife's credit card. She is missing. Can I still use the card? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:29:16 a.m. Yeah, title is Your Spouse is Missing and You Want a Divorce / Hello Divorce.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 10:30:49 a.m. How long for someone to be missing to inheritance? Yahoo search results.
What time and date?
It was on January 1st, 2023 at 6:24:44 a.m.
My guess is he was looking, well, if I'm going to divorce her, what's going to happen to me financially? And he was so worried about finances because, let's face it, she was the breadwinner, right? He couldn't even leave the house. I also want to address this because this came up in something I was listening to earlier. People have said, oh, well, his mommy was going to give him money, so money really wasn't a motive here. I ask you, whether you are somebody who's ever gotten money from your parents or not, imagine that you were. Would you want every time you wanted to make a purchase to have to go to mommy and ask for money and beg for money? Would you want to have to be dependent on your mommy as a full adult male at 40 years old? Is that something you think that you would want? Particularly if there was an alternative option where millions of dollars would be available to you and you would achieve the objective of eliminating this woman who has just done you wrong, who has just brought you great anger, humiliation. Obviously, something is not right with Brian Walsh. He's not 100%, okay? Clearly, people don't just fraud other people for hundreds of thousands of dollars on a whim. That doesn't just happen, right? This is somebody who's probably been lying his entire life. We just don't know about it. So she was the one making all the money. And he was probably terrified that without her, he's not going to have any money, but he knew about the life insurance. And so he reasoned, if I kill her and get rid of the body, then I will get the life insurance. And I just want to say one more thing about this. These kind of people, everything sounds like a good idea when it's just in your mind before it's time to pay the piper, before it's time to show up for the consequences. And these kind of guys can talk themselves into just about anything. Oh, don't worry about it. They'll never find the body. And without a body, they can't prove anything, right? You'll never get caught. They'll never check the kid's iPad. They can't check the kid's iPad. That's not legal. I mean, we can convince ourselves of all kinds of stuff, particularly guys like this. Guys with a track record of making very bad decisions and almost getting away with it before. This man is a con man. Something is not right in his head.
So if you look, it says, Slate.news, it's an article, but it says, is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? So it's similar search terms, but not exactly what you search. So it's redirecting you to similar items. Can identification be made on partial human remains? Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:35:52 a.m. Title is, how long does DNA last? Which is a Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:33:49 a.m. How to use hydrogen peroxide on bloodstains? Google search.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 12:48:14 p.m. Is it possible to clean DNA off a knife? Question mark.
What is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 9:34:39 a.m. 6 ways to dispose of a body - murder.
And what is the URL?
www.murdermurdermurder.com/blog 2017-522 6 ways to dispose of a body.
What is the time and date?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:28:47 a.m.
And you can argue all day, oh, he never submit applications for the insurance. There wasn't a lot of time because he was arrested days after she was murdered, right? Before he was arrested. So he didn't have time in the days following her death to submit claims to the insurance company. Right? Now, who knows what the state of that is now? But, that's the situation that he was in. So this, the defense team bringing up the fact that he never submit a claim is a little bit ridiculous because he's been jailed basically since what we're hearing him say to the cops.
Hacksaw, the best tool for dismembering a body. Google search. How to saw a body. Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:27:31 p.m. Disposing of a body in the trash. Google search. Is it better to throw away crime scene clothes or wash them? Google search. How to dismember a body. Google search. Details of dismemberment discussed in murder trial / Wayne 15. How long do stores keep security footage? Google search.
And what is the title directly below that? Record 2387.
How to clean bloodstains with hydrogen peroxide - YouTube. Can you be charged with murder without a body? Google search.
So that gives us pretty much all the information that we need to very clearly understand that Brian Walsh knew about this affair. And we know that because we get to hear him. We get to hear him talking. So we know this is not a stupid guy, right? But we also know that this is a guy who has conned people before. And that's really important because of the fact that he's well-spoken, because of the fact that he's managed to be somewhat successful, at least blending in with the rest of the world. He looks on the surface to be somebody who is even-tempered, who could never, ever be violent, right? And who never would have hurt his wife. And that's what he wants you to believe. The problem is that he did know about the affair. And I suspect that Brian Walsh, with Anna so far away and him unable to leave the house because of his house arrest, because of the federal crime that he had committed before, my guess is that he suspected that anyway, that he was already suspicious just because of the distance, right? So he was looking for signs of her pulling away, her behaving differently. And because he's no dummy, would have then went to try to investigate. His first reaction, very clearly, was to pursue divorce. That was the first reaction. But clearly, by January 1st, Anna Walsh was gone. This is a professional liar, ladies and gentlemen, a guy who lies like he breathes. So you want to be very cautious about buying his bullshit, because that is what he's counting on. He's counting on all of us, and so is the defense team, buying his bullshit. And that's why the defense probably doesn't mind listening to him talk and talk and talk and talk, because he sounds good, right? He's telling a story that sounds legitimate. The problem is it's all bullshit. And we know that he's in trouble with the feds because he's conned people before. Okay? So whatever happened to Anna, the reason why he disposed of her body is because it would have told the story of what really happened. And without that body, we can't find out what really happened.
Murder conviction without a body - Wikipedia.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 12:47, 10 p.m. Can you identify a body with broken teeth? Google search.
What is the date and time?
January 2nd, 2023, 1:12:46 p.m.
This is somebody who, at the very least, was contemplating dismembering his wife's body. Now, we don't know whether he did that or just contemplated doing that, right? We don't know. We can't tell whether he used a saw and sawed off parts of her body. This is me interrupting your programming to remind you to like this video right now. And don't forget to subscribe. Like this video. I'd also like to say, this is like the obvious, but for some reason gets overlooked. If you've even contemplated dismembering your spouse, something is not right in your head, okay? People don't contemplate dismembering their loved ones. It doesn't matter whether there's a dead body next to you because you just wake up on a whim and they're dead, or if they had an affair, or if they did you wrong in some way, if they stole money from you. Seriously contemplating dismembering them does not come in to our minds, not in any kind of serious way. And therefore, Brian Walsh, something is not right with this man, okay? Let's not overlook that, please. But it's pretty convenient that we don't have a body, which would be the only way that we could confirm what the defense is telling us. That she died from sudden adult death syndrome. I mean, if you're buying this, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. And I get that the evidence is weak. I get it. But it isn't really, is it? Because the truth is right in front of us. It couldn't be more clear. The only way it gets more clear is if the body is here to tell us the story. And it appears as though Mr. Walsh dismembered her so that we can't get that part of the story. But there is evidence that somehow blood was all over the place in his home. Now, if Anna died in her sleep, like the defense wants us to believe, why would there be blood all over the place on things like knives and floors?
How to clean blood from a wood floor, Google search.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:44:32 a.m. Can I use bleach to clean my wood floors from bloodstains? Google search.
And what is the date and time?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:50:05 a.m. Does the dishwasher clean blood? Google search. Cleaning up a dead body / wired YouTube. So it's a YouTube video. Should I use hydrogen peroxide 8 on bloodstains in concrete? Google search. What does bleach do to dead bodies? Google search. Want to get away with murder? ? Use special detergent / Discover magazine. Is it possible that a knife which had blood on it remains contaminated with HIV after it has been washed with hot water and dishwasher soap? Quora. No corpse? ? No problem. Notable murder convictions without a body. A&E True Crime. Best ways to dispose of a body. Google search.
What time and date?
This is done on January 1st, 2023 at 4:52:16 a.m. Yes. So the title for this one is 10 ways to dispose of a dead body, in parentheses, if you really need to. So it's page 6. How long before a body starts to smell? Google search.
And we don't want to be conned by Brian Walshe again. Right? This is a guy who sold a painting as an Andy Warhol painting that was not, right? He forged the signature, sold it for a bunch of money, and it was a fake. Right? And again, guys, people that lie like professional liars, they're very, very believable to the average person, right? They're very, very believable. But this guy knew. We have video of Brian Walshe disposing things in dumpsters in random places. Now, unfortunately, those things were not able to be recovered, or at least the body was not recovered. But based on these Google searches and his purchases, which included things like hacksaws, I think giving him the benefit of the doubt would be, well, kind of absurd. Sometimes things just are exactly what we think they are, exactly what they seem like.
Erica and Jessica, we also heard text messages between Anna and Brian, including some that Brian sent to his wife after her death. And we saw some of those tools that were allegedly used to dismember and dispose of her body. A pair of shears shown to the jury, one of several tools discovered in a trash pull, including a hatchet and hacksaw. Tools introduced as evidence today in the murder case against Brian Walshe. The 50-year-old Cohasset man is accused of killing his wife Anna 3 years ago, then dismembering and dumping her remains, which have not been found. The defense argues Walshe discovered his wife already dead in bed.
Hello.
Today, the prosecution detailed text messages between the couple, including some Walshe sent in the days after her death, before she was reported missing to police.
Hello, where are you? Please call, text, or email. Exhausting day with the boys, and we had fun. Going to bed early. Big day tomorrow for everyone. I still love you. Ha ha ha.
I still love you. Ha ha ha. You don't think that text says it all? Remember, this is supposed to be to make it look like he doesn't know where she is. And he slips up and he tells us oh, I still love you. In other words, despite the fact that you're having an affair. Sometimes things are what they are.
The prosecution alleges Walsh killed Anna over an affair she was having, but the defense claims Walsh was unaware. Today, highlighting texts before Anna's death, texts that show the couple discussed purchasing property and a Porsche. Some exchanges reflect humor and affection.
So, if I'm on this jury, while the evidence is weak, right? The evidence is weak. But there's a reason why the evidence is weak, right? Because there's no body. And we can't tell from her body what happened here. But my guess, 100%, is that he was furious that she did not get home in time on Christmas Day like she was supposed to. And that triggered a fight. So sometime in between Christmas Day and New Year's, Anna Walsh lost her life. And I believe, based on his own statements, that he 100% knew about the affair and therefore had a very real motive for murder. And when we add up his statement analysis with the testimony that we're hearing from the cops, with the Google searches, when we add it all together, this is a con man who murdered his wife without a doubt. And we don't want to be conned by Brian Walsh again.
Cleaning up a dead body / Wired YouTube. So it shows a YouTube video.
And what time and date is that?
January 1st, 2023 at 11:41:50 a.m.
That is my opinion, and it is only my opinion. But I'm comfortable saying that this is a con man, and we are being conned by the defense, who are doing their job. I give them a ton of credit for doing their job, right? Representing their defendant well. But make no mistake, this guy can lie with every breath. And we are very sure of that because of how much he lied to the police. So that is the story. Take it or leave it. And hopefully I will be 100% again by Monday night for our Monday Night Live, because next week we're doing Monday and Wednesday and you don't want to miss it.
To edit that Slade dominant Scarlet video.
Okay, and that's Slade Scarlet. Do you recognize the fact that there is some actress referred to with regards to the cheating wife thing that's also named Scarlet?
That's correct.
So it's fair to say, isn't it, that you have no idea as you sit here today whether the person who is looking at this porn hub video, if they're trying to get access to movies, they have perhaps their favorite actress or anything else of the sort, do you?
I don't know who this person is, so I have no idea.
So your answer is no.
That's correct. I don't know.
Isn't it fair to say that when you open up some website like Pornhub, it comes open and it has all of these possible selections you can make?
I don't know. I'm not a peruser of Pornhub, but sure it has options.
Okay. So you have no idea what options were presented to the person that opened up this page, do you?
No, I don't.
But yet it was important enough to include it in the data that you put into that binder?
With the information that we knew, yes.
Okay. And that information, let's just cut to the chase here. It's because of the word cheating wife.
That's correct, sir.
Okay, so just the fact that there was a phrase involving cheating wife, that to you was something that, okay, let's just include that in all this data and throw it out. Correct?
No.
Okay. So you didn't take the time to look to see what the movie was about. I understand that, correct?
That's correct.
You didn't take the time to see if the actor in the other movie, Slay, Dominant, whatever, was the same actress in the other one, right?
That's correct.
So you really just said, oh, I see the phrase cheating wife, and so I think that's important.
It is the defense counselor's duty to protect the rights of the individual, as it is the prosecution's duty to uphold and defend the laws of the state. Justice for all. Only we have a problem here.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright.